Yeah. 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 We rolling deep across our 10 in the dirty South, where the rivers blend from Lake Charles to Baton Rouge. We riding with the Saints under them southern skies. We hustle hard, ain't no time to stop. Drive to the top, it's our time to shine. From Nola's heart, we redefine the grind. Southwest Louisiana, stand up proud. With every beat, we bring the heat, hear the crowd. From Houston streets to Lafayette, Long McNeese. Right, let the raging cages flow. DJ 30 South, turn it up loud. Marking our vibes, yeah, we make our crowd. Get on the bus, we coming alive. Drive to the top, it's our time to shine. From Nola's heart, we redefine the grind. Southwest Louisiana, stand up proud.
Well, good evening, everyone. Welcome to another live edition of On The Go right here on Driving to the Top Productions at Dirty South Entertainment. It's Marky Mark himself, Dirty South. What's up? It's Thursday, June 11th, 2026, and FIFA is here, and I'm not alone. We're going to talk FIFA mainly tonight and some other stuff, so without any further ado, let me just quickly introduce this guy. First ever appearance on the show. I just met him for the first time like 5 minutes ago. You can catch him all the way in the Mile High in Colorado from the far end of the Bench Podcast. It's Jimmy. What's up, buddy? Welcome.
I appreciate it. I know that I'm just a mountain boy from landlocked Colorado, but I've been through different parts of the South, played a few camps in College Station in different parts of Texas, been through Alabama and all those places. I love the energy that is brought, especially when surrounding like the college sports. I feel like that's been one of the cool things about this World Cup experience is the European fans get to see what an SEC stadium was like in the friendly matchups. And this is a very exciting time. We just had our episode go live on our channel, and it was jam-packed. It was 2 hours worth of content. We didn't realize that we'd have that much to talk about in the summer, but man, there's just so much going on. Like I told you, I got 3 screens. I got the game that we're watching with Korea and Czechia. I got the Stanley Cup final, which is at intermission. I might throw something else on because I got a little bit of ADHD and I like screens and I like seeing what's going on, but I appreciate you extending the invite, and I appreciate getting to I just love talking sports. I love being able to share ideas, share opinions. I teach as my career, so the more conversations we can have, and maybe we disagree, maybe we agree. I know we would have disagreed a lot 2 weeks ago if we were doing this show with the Avalanche and the Knights, but no, it's a great time. I'm glad to be here.
Oh, yeah, it's going to be fun. You said you've been doing the show for a while. It's more like bar-like atmosphere with everything. I mean, kind of the same over here, too.
Yeah, no, Nico and I, my co-host, we met when we were 12, and we just always have very strong opinions about the sports that we like to watch. He's a huge basketball guy, so it fits. I like hockey, football. We kind of go back and forth on, but we're not trying to make anybody smarter. We're just trying to share what we think. And if you agree, great. A lot of the times people don't. And then they have to realize we do know what we're talking about because what we say comes true. I got called out by all of the Colts Nation a few years ago, but for saying that Anthony Richardson, before he tapped himself out and got pulled himself out of the game, I said that he was not going to amount to anything. He was terrible. And I got everybody jumped down my throat. And that season he was replaced as a starting quarterback, I think 6 weeks into the season. So you might not like our opinions, but we're going to share them, and we appreciate everybody who shares theirs and rocks with us. The show's been going on this will be year 6. So we appreciate every time that we get to be able to sit there and talk about some high-level competition.
Awesome. I've been in this world for 6 years doing stuff like this. I've done wrestling podcasts. I've done YouTube talk shows on Just the Saints alone, or I started a show. I got with Driving to the Top in 23. I started with a show called SAT, Saints, Astros, Tigers. I mainly started with them. And then I wanted to talk a little bit more, especially at a time when there was no football or no college baseball going around. All I had was Astros to talk, shorter episodes. So I kind of went into the pop culture, then talked a lot about this and that. And then I had a show called Sportsmania Plus where I brought a guy on and me and him just talked. We talked his teams. You know, he was more of a New York guy. He's a Mets fan, not Mets. Yeah, Mets guy, Knicks guy, Michigan Wolverine guy, Patriot guy, all that stuff. We talked all that. His side, we talked my side, we talked pop culture. I've done all that. When I came back to Driving to the Top, I wanted to start from scratch, and then I've done this one for about a year where they needed a guy to do all the Louisiana stuff, and they needed someone for Houston. And I'm like, well, I cover both. I like to do both, and I just cover across I-10 from Houston to New Orleans, and it's been fun since.
Hell yeah. No, it's a great area too, because there's a lot that goes on, especially like there's a billion colleges. If you drive through the treadmill that is Texas, there's a billion different institutions, and everybody has different sports teams and raring to go. So there's definitely a ton of it to talk about. That's for sure.
Well, I've been to College Station a bunch of times. I've been to Kyle Field a few times. What was the 12th man like for you?
Oh, it was not during a game. It was just a summer camp. So we were on the campus. We stayed in the dorms, and then we were practicing at their facilities. We were at, I think it was College Station High School, one of the massive high schools out there, and we were doing our scrimmages on that field. So we didn't actually get to play on Kyle Field, but I've seen Bryant-Denny Stadium. I've seen Kyle Field without fans in it. I still have to get to SEC country for a true game, just with my schedule is busiest in the fall when all those things would be going on. So it's a little bit hard to get all the way out there. But those, I call them monuments. I don't even call them stadiums. Those are monuments that are built down there in the Deep South. Those are some of the nicest facilities and just absolutely massive. Like standing on the field, looking up to where the nosebleeds would be, and you know that this thing is packed every single week and everybody lives and dies with what goes on the field. That's it. It was, you can feel kind of the atmosphere and the heaviness of the stadium without anybody in there. You can almost picture and hear the ghost of the 100,000 screaming Tide fans.
Have you ever been to Baton Rouge? You ever been to Death Valley?
No, if I'm going to break my cherry on going to an SEC game, I'm definitely trying to go to Death Valley at night. And I would like to go out there, and I'll wear LSU stuff. I'll wear my Burrow Bengals jersey because I got a ton of them, and I have one that has the EAUX on it. And I'll just wear that, and I'll go through the tailgate starting at 9 a.m. until gates open at 6, and we're all filing in for an 8 o'clock kickoff. I'm like, damn, this is my people. This is my culture.
Oh yeah, you'll be welcomed with open arms. You rock a Joe Burrow Bengals jersey. Hell, you could rock a Jaden Daniels Commanders jersey. You can rock a Shaq Lakers jersey, and you'd be welcomed with open arms. Like, as long as they came from there, they're gonna treat you like royalty. But yeah, I don't care what Clemson says, that their Death Valley is nothing compared to ours. And the only debatable arguments I always get is Baton Rouge is fun, but come to Happy Valley out of whiteout one night. I said I look forward to doing that one time, but I haven't done it yet.
Yeah, it would be. I think that it would still be different because Penn State, their community is not going to die if the Nittany Lions lose. The entire state is rooting for Louisiana or for LSU. Like the governor is getting involved in who's running the football program, so the entire state is invested. It's going to be a little bit different. I think it'll be a cool atmosphere, but I don't think that it's going to be the same. Everybody is dialed in and watching every single snap and every single moment.
Unfortunately, like, of all the stadiums I've toured or been to, I've only been to 5 SEC stadiums, sadly. I should have been to more, outside of LSU and A&M's. I've been to Ole Miss's, I've been to Auburn's, I've been to Alabama's, and I've been to Oklahoma's. And I've been to Texas as well.
I would like to go see the Cotton Bowl for the Red River rivalry, too. That would be another kind of bucket list college football experience for me.
I've seen the Cotton Bowl, but I've never been inside it or even been to a game. Now I've been to Jerry's World. I've been to AT&T Stadium for football and wrestling, so I've been to Cowboys. What's the biggest college football stadium you've ever been in your life? Was it Kyle Field, or you've been to bigger?
No, it was probably Kyle Field. That was we've seen University of Miami, University of Alabama, and Texas A&M when we were going up and going through camps, and that was definitely the biggest one was Kyle Field.
My biggest one is a team I hate with a passion. I've been to Ohio State's once.
Can't stand those guys.
That's why I always rep Big Blue. Like if it's big, when they play Michigan, I act like I've been a diehard Michigan fan when they play.
I have an uncle who's a diehard Ohio State fan, and it's my favorite thing to do is wear blue all week that week. We see each other for Thanksgiving, and then the game takes place 2 days later, and I'm wearing some sort of blue and some sort of yellow, and he hates it. He absolutely hates it.
I do the same thing for the Iron Bowl. Like, I don't like Auburn either, but if I'd root for Auburn before I root for Alabama, even though Bama dominates the Iron Bowl.
Yeah. And that's the other thing, too. SEC games have some weird voodoo magic. Like, they never end clean. I think of the Georgia-Auburn with the tip. I think of the kick six. There's always some voodoo that's going on. I don't know if it's everybody practicing it in the stadium or if it's just everybody's competing that hard, but it's some of the best moments in college football have been in SEC buildings.
Yeah. Now, like, I've never been to – I've been to Cincinnati before. I've seen the stadium because I was like, Joe Burrow's fixing to get drafted here. I was able to sneak in and get a picture of the stadium, but I've only been to, like, 4 NFL stadiums. But, like, the Superdome is a magical place too, but Saints games are fun, but it's nothing – their culture and atmosphere is great, but it's nothing – compared to LSU's, but the Superdome is a magical place too if you've ever been there. That'll be another one that I have to get into. Hopefully at some point this media thing gets me some sort of credential and we're able to kind of travel around and see all these different events that we want to see, but the Superdome is one that's like, damn, I can't even imagine what that would be like, especially because of, I'm a big history guy. That's what I was teaching for the last few years, but I've seen the Steve Gleason documentary, and I've seen all the different accounts of how that one moment where he blocked the punt in the game that reopened the dome, that was what revitalized the entire community and got everybody back up off the floor from what was going on. Yeah, and they have a statue of that right in front of the dome, too.
One of the hardest documentaries I've ever had to watch because the ending of it with his battle with ALS is tough, but that is one of those moments I'll never forget.
Absolutely. Like, I remember watching that with my mom, and we just like came out the edge of our seat when they blocked that punt, and then they scooped and scored.
Yeah. It was a beautiful play. Beautiful execution. I love to see it.
Anytime the Saints, because Atlanta Falcons is like Michigan, Ohio State to us. That's our most heated rivalry. Like Saints, Falcons fans hate each other with a passion, and the fact that we did that to them just made it, especially on them. We got what's up, Mikey? He's in the comments as well. Yeah, speaking of World Cup, what was the first year you've discovered it? But what was the first year you like really started following the trail of watching it every 4 years?
It was when I started getting into. I was in college radio for my last few years in college, and then when we started the podcast, we knew that it was one of the biggest. Like, if we don't take advantage of all the people that want to talk about soccer, then we're missing out on a huge portion of the world, not just the country, the world. And we both talked about it too. Like, we love the Olympic events when they come around because of the nationalism. I don't sit down and watch any professional soccer league, whether it's Premier League or any of the foreign leagues or MLS. I just don't have that much of an interest in it. But when it's the Olympics, or we talked about it, the Winter Olympics and the World Cup years that they align, that's probably the most fun 6 months in sports because everybody is competing for their flag and where they come from. And there's just an extra level of motivation when they do that. We saw it, as bad as South Africa looked in the opener against Mexico, they were playing as hard as they possibly could, and it earned them a couple red cards.
Oh, yeah, there were 2 that night. I didn't really get to watch most of it. I was at work, but I kept up with it. But
yeah,
no, I discovered it. I think there was one year USA hosted it. I think it was like 94 or something. That's when we I first discovered it because my parents didn't really watch a lot of soccer. But when it was that or the Olympics, yeah, everyone's going to tune in and watch, see what their country can do. And then when they brought it back in 98, that's kind of when I really start I watched what I could. Whatever was on TV, we watched it, and especially if like USA was in it, they were always playing their games. But back when they had cable television in the late 90s, I watched whatever they had on TV when they had it in 98, and then it was kind of a thing. Like every 4 years, it's like I like watching it, and then when you start seeing these like international guys, like over the years, like I've become so big on Lionel Messi. Like I followed his career from Barcelona to PSG. to Miami and all that. He's a hell of a guy, but it's hard when you got a 5-year-old nephew who only knows Cristiano Ronaldo due to his TikTok and his YouTube and all that. But
the billion followers
won't get up at 4 a.m. to watch him play in Saudi Arabia or whatever time they go live in Saudi, like wherever he's playing now. But no, it's been – and then I think I discovered the Premier League in the early 2000s, and it's probably my favorite story when it comes to a soccer team I follow. Like, I got into Barcelona and PSG courtesy of Messi, but I became a fan of Manchester United from that damn scene in Euro Trip where Scotty and Cooper go in the pub in Manchester, and it was a private hooligan bar for Manchester United. And that scene where they're trying to make them sing the song and whatever. Like, since then, I've found the Premier League and been a fan since then. That's like the best story I always tell when it comes to Manchester United.
The hooligan culture is something that we don't really understand living in America. I've read a couple books on it because I got invested in college, and the fights are brutal. And they're gang, but it's like the teams in the Premier League are neighborhood teams, so you are fighting for your home country outside of the pitch just as much as the teams are fighting for it in the games that are happening.
Are the fights worse than what we got in New York with the Spurs fans?
I don't know how graphic you want me to get, but in the book they describe a guy like pulling another person's eye out with his mouth.
Oh, so they're basically murdering them over there.
Yeah, there's a lot of death that happen. It's like you either get beat up a little bit, you end up with a concussion, you get maimed, you get stabbed, or you lose an eye. It could happen.
Oh, yeah. That's insane. But do you ever, like, outside of, like, FIFA and stuff or the Olympics with the countries, do you ever keep up with CONCACAF? Because they always do it the year after FIFA, but that's the North American title.
Yeah, I've been trying to pay attention more because of everybody been talking about this golden generation with the World Cup. So the last few CONCACAFs, the most recent one that they played in, it was a little bit less investment because they didn't have to win or make a certain place to qualify for this World Cup. But when it's a qualification tournament, that's actually a lot of fun because there are some teams that we don't think about in South America that if we give them the opportunity to beat the United States, that's all they're looking for, because that would make their entire national program and we'll get them their next wave of players that they can try and build their program off of. But the United States with CONCACAF, that's at least something that we're competitive in. It's hard to be a fan of the U.S. in the World Cup because our men's national team outside of 2 times has not made it past the first round of knockouts. So we're basically playing all the round robin games that everybody gets. And then the first time that there's elimination, if we make it out of the group, we're normally getting sent home in the first round. So it's hard to say that I'm a World Cup fan, but CONCACAF has been a lot more fun to watch.
Well, I'm always a fan of FIFA because anytime the countries go to war, but it's like 4 years ago when they were in Qatar, that was the best I've ever seen USA in my entire life. Because, like I said, I'm used to them just getting knocked out in the first round. They were able to make it to the round of 16 before they got eliminated. And I'm like, well, maybe there's a chance we can maybe get a further push because I don't think they've ever went. I think the best they've ever went, I think they won bronze, like back when my grandparents were kids or something like that. I don't remember what year it was.
Yeah, they lost in the semifinals and ended up getting third, I think.
But now the women's soccer team, yeah, that's the only one that's ever, like, brought us. Like, I don't keep up with women's as much, but, like, anytime I hear, like, oh, USA's, like, in the semifinals or whatever, that's when I start watching and see them win a championship and whatnot. But you have any, like, I wouldn't say crazy stories, but, like, what was one of the best atmospheres or best places you've ever watched a FIFA or CONCACAF? Because mine revolves the same location, but it's a year apart.
Well, actually, it wasn't either of those. My best soccer memory that I have, we were when they changed the MLB All-Star game from Georgia to Colorado that year. We ended up being up at the rooftop bar during the Futures game with all the prospects, and they were just playing. We watched, I can't remember, it was England and whoever they were playing, and they went to penalty kicks in one of the knockout stages of the Euros, and everybody that was up in, we weren't paying attention to anything that was happening on the field in the rooftop bar. We were all sitting there watching the TV and enjoying the atmosphere that the Momfords built, because that's what Colorado baseball fans kind of do. We enjoy the stadium. We don't pay attention to what happens on the field because it's normally an embarrassment, and we had the Euros on, and everybody was definitely more invested in that. I think 5 or 6 guys that were sitting in the bar with us were all betting on the soccer game while sitting at a baseball event.
Wow. All right. So in 2014 and 15, well, me and my family and a bunch of friends, we've done 3 straight summer vacations to a resort in Mexico. Like 2 years in a row, we went to Cancun. Then the last year we went to Playa del Carmen. Well, the second year we went was the year they did FIFA in Brazil. It was 2014. So it was around, I think it was at the end of June. So like right before, like the last week or 2 weeks of group stage. But like it was all like themed out. Like the resort we stayed at, like everyone, they were having watch parties at the bars or the nightclubs they had at the resort. Certain restaurants had watch parties, or any ballroom or convenient hall they've had were hosting watch parties. Because we've had a lot of like international people that was at this resort that came from all over the world, and every resort employee each day was wearing like a different country's jersey. Like I've seen like a bartender I would go to all the time. Like one day he had a Puerto Rico jersey on one day. Another day he had like South Africa on. Another day he had Argentina on. When USA played Japan, he had USA on. So like I remember we watched that like 2 big watch parties in the same day. Like we went to watch USA play Japan at some little Asian bar they had on resort. And that was a fun one. Well, that same night, Mexico played Brazil. And you sort of got it was Super Bowl Sunday. The hall that hosted it, it was elbow to elbow. You couldn't even move in there. It was so packed. And every time they scored a goal, you thought they won the damn Super Bowl. Like they were just going apeshit crazy, already popping confetti, throwing balloons, everyone passing out tequila shots to everybody. Like you just scored a goal. You didn't even win the matchup yet. And they ended up losing the game 2-1. But the following year, we went to a whole different resort. This was CONCACAF. Remember, Mexico won CONCACAF in 2015 against Canada. For that championship game, the sports bar, there was a big-ass sports bar at this resort. Same thing, so crowded. I got there early just to, like, sit at the bar and drink all the drinks I want. When they won the championship, I don't know how I survived, but the party did not stop. A guy I brought with me out there that don't know anything about soccer, he just came to be there for a good time. He tipped the bartender a $20 bill, and $20 is a lot to guys in Mexico. He said, show us a good time. Well, that was a big mistake. He did that because he started giving us shots, and after about the 3rd shot, we started not feeling ourselves, like in a whole nother way. He roofied our drinks. He drugged our shots because he told me we wanted a good time.
You got to know what the phrasing is when you go to these different countries. Some people are asking for something totally different when they say that.
I don't remember what I got. I remember as soon as I got home, I went to the hospital and got drug tested. And I don't remember if it was, I think it was either roofies or ecstasy. I think it was ecstasy. We all had in our system, and we were like, what the hell? Oof. All because Mexico won a damn championship, and then they're trying to drug everybody in the damn nightclub that wanted a good time.
Well, that's a country that you can kind of buy that over the counter at a pharmacy. They have. Why do you have MDMA pills in the pharmacy? You have MDMA next to steroids, and you can just walk in and buy these without a prescription? Really? Yeah, you can.
I saw they had a big old watch party in Mexico City when they won, and I was looking at the numbers. Yeah, you said there were 2 red cards. The 2 goals from Mexico. Yep. Mexico mainly dominated this game. I mean, they had 60% possession, 4 shots on goal, 467 accurate passes. They've won 47 duels, and they had 2 saves, even though they did commit 12 fouls and they did get a red card. I must have missed all that. Like I watched a little bit of clips in this from the day. I did watch the first goal of the game. That went to Julian. I'm not even going to try and pronounce names real quick because if I might it might piss some people off. So I'm gonna just go ahead and let this out real fast.
If one of y'all says some silly ass name, this whole class is gonna feel my wrath.
Julian Quinos or Quinones. That's who scored the first goal.
Quinones.
Quinones. Julian Quinones scored the first goal in 9 minutes. And then
Yeah.
Raul Jimenez scored the second one in 67.
There was just a total speed difference the entire time. Like, it seemed like Mexico, they had all those red cards. They were red cards because it was a single Mexican player that got the ball. He was onside and just blew past everybody else on the defense. So it was last ditch effort. They were basically diving for ankles, like when we watch NFL games and the safety's trying to be the last one to save them before they get to the end zone. So it could have been 4. The 2 red cards saved them 2 goals, but the game ended, I think, in a 11-on-9 situation. And then I think for 5 minutes, the last 5 minutes of extra time, it was 10-on-9 because of the red card that Mexico got. But I was expecting them to be a little bit more nervous. They seemed like they used the home side advantage to it made them more energized. They just look so fast. They're so talented. They are, even with what we've been seeing out of Czechia and Korea, because those are the other teams that are playing in that group, they are playing for second place because Mexico already has 3 points. So as long as they get a win or a tie in the next game, they're almost guaranteed to go on and be in the knockout stage. And I think they're fighting for a higher seed. They're not just fighting to make it out of the group. They're fighting for one of those top 4 seeds.
Yeah, hell, this one's already looking like a good matchup with Czechia and South Korea. I did pick Czechia to win this one, and I started off 1-0, but I think damn near everybody picked Mexico to beat South Africa tonight. So
yeah, South Africa's just here. They're one of those expansion teams. You're just here to take up a tournament spot.
Yeah. It might look blurry for you, but I mean, I've saved it in my phone, but I do have the group stage lineups right here. And if it comes to like what matches you might be hyped for in this one, and I think most of these, I think we might agree on who could probably walk out as the group stage winner. I mean, we kind of nailed it in the head on Group A. I think we all both agreed Mexico is going to definitely win this one, no problem. But with what the lineups they have in the group matchups, another one I might be looking forward to seeing is Mexico and Czechia in the second matchup, which I want to say I think it's going to be in Dallas, but I know some of the venues might have changed for some people. But if I'm correct, when Mexico plays Czechia, I think it's going to be at AT&T Stadium in Dallas. But I'm looking forward to that one. And hell, even Mexico and South Korea might be fun to see when we get to the towards the end of June. But what about you on the Group A side?
I just think if there's anybody that challenges Mexico, that's a team that if they make it onto the bracket in the knockout stage, they're a dark horse. They're going to pick up a lot of momentum. I feel like the first team to score on Mexico and kind of break that mystique that they have, that's going to be the team to watch. I like Czechia. They're just not as talented as South Korea, but they've been playing forever. They are the old school Europeans. They got cigarettes in their mouth as they walk in. I'm just hypothetically stereotypes here. They got cigarettes in their mouths as they're walking into the stadium, and they're just there to grind it out. Like South Korea has absolutely no space to get around any of them. So their system is one that they're very good at playing. I think it's going to probably be Mexico and Czechia is the best game out of this group, even though South Korea has a lot more of the talent that people would recognize.
Yeah. Even though they didn't really call his name out a lot, I think another impact player for Mexico could be Ochoa. I think he's going to be another one that could be like anchor in Mexico's defense especially. But Group B, I mean, I'm not going to say this is one of the lowest bargains of a group stage, but Canada, Switzerland, Qatar, and Bosnia, I mean, I think we all know Canada ain't even good in their own damn sport they created with hockey, but I would have to probably go with Switzerland to probably take this group stage. I mean, Canada might be the lowest of the totem pole of the 3 countries hosting this year's World Cup. Mexico might be on top with USA in the middle and Canada at the bottom, but I might have to go with Switzerland. But when Switzerland and Qatar play, I think that could be like the impact matchup of this group.
Qatar is the only one that I could see with an outside chance. I think it's going to be Canada and Switzerland that make it out of this group, and I do think that Canada got this group
think he froze. He might have froze here, folks. Let me message him real fast. Yeah, he did freeze. He should be back in a second. But while we wait on him, I'm going to just go off a limb and say Group C, that is no argument there. I think we all know who's taking Group C, and they're right on top of the list. Well, while we wait on him to pop up, I'll just finish with what I said here. Brazil, definitely gonna take this one, take this group, no problem. I'm looking forward to. There we go. There he is.
They can't figure out Wi-Fi at altitude. That's all I'll say.
All right, but I remember you said Canada and Switzerland could take the group, but
this is just it's a pity group. That's what it is. Canada got a pity group to try and get them out of this group stage. That's the only reason why Qatar and Bosnia got this draw. There's no other reason.
C, I think this might be the quickest rundown. I think we all agree who's going to take Group C, no problem.
Yeah, it's Brazil. I would like to see Monaco make a little bit of a run. Morocco make a little bit of a run, but it's hard to say anybody but the Brazilians are going to really make an impact out of that one.
Yeah, especially when you got Allison Becker and you got Marquinhos Haas on there. Yeah, that shows like they're one of the best, and they're on their quest of winning. I think it's like their 5th or 6th.
Yeah, if they win that one, they would also, if they don't have the lead, because them and Italy are the 2 countries with the most, it would either give them the lead or give them an extra cup in the lead for which countries won this the most.
Yeah, but Brazil and Scotland, I feel like, would probably be the best match of the group, but don't sleep on like Haiti as well.
Yeah, it's tough for me. Like, it can go one of two ways, because Haiti's had a lot of crap going on politically and socially. Like, their island is not doing well, and that can either really inspire a country to go on and do great things, or it can be a huge distraction. Because in the situations like that, we don't have to experience this here in the U.S., but some of these countries, if these players don't play well, they have their families at risk, they have themselves at risk. Like, these countries aren't going to just take a poor performance and let you go.
Yeah. Group D, I mean, it's obvious. I mean, this is probably like maybe their best chance. I think they can surpass a group, but don't sleep on, like I said, don't sleep on Australia. Don't sleep on Paraguay. I mean, those are going to be tomorrow's game's going to be a good one. And then when the one I want to see the most with Australia, the only one that's not going to be a night matchup, it's going to be in the middle of the day, and I'm going to be aching and clawing to find a way to not be working and trying to want to check that update out and see if they can get past Australia. But I mean, Christian Pulisic, I can't even say his last name right. No, AC Milan's top scorer. He's he's carrying the hope for this team. I mean, he's one of the 3 captains, I know that, but I think he's like the main guy for Team USA.
Yeah, we just got to figure out goaltending, because we don't have a true like goaltender that everybody trusts right now, and our offense is absolutely stacked. But the defense, we have a guy that's been injured from his club team that he's trying to make a run back. I'm not going to try and say that I know the name, but I know that there is a big defenseman that if we get him back, that is going to help us out a lot, because the friendly that we saw against Germany and Chicago, we can score but we got to be able to make sure that these top teams, especially when we make it to the elimination games, when we get that far, we're going to have to keep the ball out of the net too, because goal differential is a tiebreaker. That's why Mexico has 3 points, because they won by 2 goals.
Yeah. Group E, another one. Like, I think this is all Germany, no problem. But Ecuador, I think, could be a dark horse. I mean, Ivory Coast and Curacao could be good competitors too, but I feel like it's going to come down to Germany and Ecuador.
Yeah, my co-host Nico is going to be at the Germany-Curacao game because his family is German, and that was the cheapest ticket he could find in Houston for any of these World Cup matchups. So he's going to be at the game. But you have 2 brand new teams and then Ecuador. So we know this one is very easy. The top 2 are advancing. The other 2 are getting some experience. And hopefully, if you make it again next time in 4 years, let's see if you actually have something in you. But Curacao and the Ivory Coast, it's going to be bright lights and big pressure.
I was going to say, that's the one in Houston. That's the one he's going to?
Yep, he's going. I believe it's NRG Stadium, so he doesn't have to worry about being outdoors in extreme heat that these Europeans and foreign people are experiencing. But he said it was all together, because he had miles for the airline. It was like less than $800 to go to that World Cup game, Germany and Curacao.
Yeah, it was insane how much tickets are these days. I can't even imagine how much USA and Paraguay is going to cost in California. I'm pretty sure it's top notch, but I feel like it's ridiculous. But hell, if he's got a chance, I mean, I could be wrong, but I thought it was in Houston, but I think they moved it to Dallas. But when we get to Group J, Argentina and I think it's Austria, that was supposed to be one of the most highlighted matchups. They said that was the most overpriced ticket in that venue just because of one particular guy in Messi. But
he's a big deal. He's almost a bigger deal than Texas.
Yeah. Group F, I mean, I think I'm a ride with the Netherlands, but I don't know much about Tunisia. But I mean, Japan, Japan can kick balls too. I mean, it could come down to them, Netherlands and Japan. Sweden, don't know much about them, but I feel like it could come down to the first 2.
Yeah, the European teams have systems. The Dutch they're always right there. I don't believe they've won it, or they've only won it once, but they've been very close in the semifinals and in the finals matchups and losing. So the Dutch and the Netherlands that'll be good for them. Japan, having played against a Japanese team, they will not give up and they will not give you an inch. So those 2, with the way the system that the Netherlands play with and the mindset that Japan plays with, those are the 2 top teams out of F for sure.
Group G could be one of the most impactful groups in this whole damn thing, because all 4 teams got impact players and skills. But like Belgium, I could see going up on top, but if it comes down to them and Iran, could be a hell of a battle. Hell, Belgium and Egypt is what I'm predicting, but don't sleep on New Zealand as well. Like, when Belgium plays all 3 teams, you're looking – get ready for the money making to fly.
I would like to see New Zealand do a little bit, because they're such a small and out there country, and they haven't had much success outside of rugby. So this would be one of the first times that soccer team would get a little bit of run. But that would be a long shot. They are probably they're more likely to finish 3rd or 4th than to actually make it out of their group.
Group H, another one. I think it's Yamal in Spain. I think this is their group. They're going to take over. I mean, Uruguay, I know what they can do. Saudi Arabia's got some talented players as well. Cape Verde is kind of a dark horse as well. But another set of impact games here. But I got Spain riding this group, no problem.
I think I said Spain is probably my pick from the beginning when we started talking about World Cup on our show. So I'm going to stick with Spain and say that I trust that their talent and their youth is going to elevate them past the other teams once they get to the eliminations.
Group I, kind of the same. I mean, France. I mean, PSG just won Champions League like 2 weeks ago. I think they ready to bring something else back to that country. And I think it could come down to them in Norway. I mean, I don't know much about Iraq and Senegal, but I feel like France and Norway could be the impact match of this one.
France and Norway will be the two teams that are trying to see who makes it 1 and 2 out of this group. The other ones, maybe a slight chance to be one of those third seeds in the group that make it to the bracket, but France is probably the one that I would say too much talent and too much experience. They've won a World Cup pretty recently, so their national program knows how to do it. I would say France is probably my pick to be behind Spain. So they would be my second highest favorite for this whole tournament.
Yeah. Then, but also you got to watch out for what is it, Martin Delhi? He played for Arsenal, and now he's playing for Norway. If I'm saying that name right, that last name right, is it Delhi or something like that?
I got no clue.
It's spelled like it's like the A and the E are too close together. You don't know whether to say day or die. Like, I never seen the letters look that close unless it's just a little malfunction on this website. But Group J, I mean, another one I think we're all going to agree it's going to be Lionel Messi and Argentina. But Austria, solid group. Jordan, solid group. One I'm not really too sure on is Algeria, but I'm looking forward to Argentina playing Austria and Argentina playing Jordan. Like, two impactful games right there. So whether if you're going to Vancouver or you're going to MetLife, that's two impact games you'd like to see right there.
Anybody that gets a chance to see Messi has to take it if it's within your means, because there's not going to be somebody besides him for a long time. He's got a very down to earth and super impactful throughout the entire world. So Argentina, any chance that you have of getting to one of those games, take it.
Yeah, but everyone's going to be talking about Messi. I get that. But also, don't forget about Julian Alvarez, another guy. Like, Messi, this could likely be his final World Cup. I mean, he's playing in his home country and for Inter Miami, and he will be the central to Argentina's title defense with a chance to face Ronaldo. But don't forget about Alvarez as well. The young 26-year-old, he had 40 goals in 2 seasons, and he's a creative and technical threat to Argentina.
Mm-hmm.
Group K, I mean, another one. I mean, I can just throw 2 guys. Everyone's going to say Ronaldo, but don't forget my guy, Bruno Fernandes from Manchester United, Portugal. But something about Colombia. Every time I see Colombia on the schedule, I want to watch this Colombia team. Colombia is kind of like, I don't have them winning it all, but I always like to have them have a deep run and a deep push in this one. I mean, Uzbekistan, I don't really know much about. I've seen Congo in group stage play in the past, or whenever they go in the Olympics. I've seen them get a nice little run themselves, but possibly going to be Portugal, but don't sleep on Colombia as well.
I like Colombia if I'm going to go with a different pick here, because the European countries, Portugal will be a little bit better versed for it, but the teams that come from North and South America are going to understand how to play in the elements, and I think that the European teams are going to struggle. So I can see Colombia being a team that's able to handle that, because they play in such a extremely hot and humid climate all the time.
Yeah, and then Group L's this is another little group stage that's going to be impactful. You got 4 good ones here: England, Croatia, Ghana, and Panama. I know what I've seen Panama get deep runs in CONCACAF. I know what they can do there. England, I mean, like I say, the Premier League is basically the NFL of soccer to us. I've seen what Croatia had. They had a nice little impact run in the last World Cup in 22. And then Ghana, I mean, scared some people a little bit in group stage in the past, but they've gotten to the round of 32, but I think maybe won in the last 3 times. I think they made it to the round of 16, but they got some impactful players as well.
Yeah, England is always the story. What Nico and I have been saying, please do not let England win the World Cup in the same year that we're celebrating our 250th anniversary of the victory over England. As long as it's not England that wins the World Cup this year, I'll be happy.
Well, USA, real quick. I mean, if you want to be biased, that's your decision. But how do you think USA will turn out in this year? Do you see them winning it all by a miracle, or do you see them at least getting in a certain position in the tournament?
I think dream scenario would be somehow getting yourself into the semifinals. That is not what I'm saying needs to happen, what I think needs to happen for this team to feel like it's been a success is the round of 16. So you win your first knockout stage. I don't want to say it's dependent on draw, but it would be easier to make sure that that's accomplished. But you got to start from the very beginning and make sure that you handle group stage. Because if you don't get one of those first or second seeds and you come into this bracket as a third seed, that is where you're entering the danger zone of absolute embarrassment. If we go through the golden age and we're hosting the World Cup and we get knocked out in the round of 32, which is shorter than we made it, the shorter than anybody's expectations and what anybody wants, that is where the U.S. is going to really struggle. So I say you got to make it to the round of 16. I think that that's very doable. You just got to make sure that you're playing a sound game and do what the coach tells you and make sure that these systems need to be in place. You have to be a team in order to do well in these international all-star tournaments. It's the way that things work. Were we more individually talented than Canada in the Olympics when we beat them for the gold medal? No, but our team played a hell of a lot better together. So if that's what this U.S. team can start pulling themselves through, and it starts tomorrow against Paraguay, you need to have a set way of how you're going to handle these things moving forward. How are you going to deal with adversity? Make sure that the defense is solid. Make sure you figure out which goaltender is there. Like, there's a lot that this U.S. team has to do, and there's a lot of pressure, but this is the generation that was supposed to be able to handle it.
Yeah, I mean, outside of winning it all, I mean, I will be super satisfied if they can at least get to the semifinals.
Semifinals would be amazing.
I've never lived to see that, but I would be satisfied with that. Even if they if they make it to a third place game, I'll still be satisfied. Or if they make it to the finals, and whether they win it all or come up short. But like I say, you got to start from group stage. I think if they can handle that, get that 1 or 2 seed, then I can be comfortable with them surviving the round of 32. But I feel like the pressure is going to come when they get to round of 16, because we know they got there last time and they fell from there just like that. But I mean, I'm still satisfied a little bit. But I was like, listen, prove better than what you did 4 years ago. Now, pick your top 4 to win it all this year.
I would say Spain is my first pick. I will say that Brazil. I'll go Spain, Brazil, Mexico, and France. Those would be my 4 in that order.
All right. I'll have Argentina first. Like, I don't think I've ever lived, or I'm pretty sure I've had to repeat, unless Brazil's repeated before, but Argentina won it last time. I mean, I think I could see them going back to back, because you got one of the best playing in what could be his last one. So I'm trying to enjoy it. Like, my opinion, the Michael Jordan of soccer here, if you want to call him that. Argentina first. 2, I'll say France. 3, I'll go with Brazil. And 4th, I'm possibly going to go with Germany.
Nico would be very happy with a German World Cup championship, but I see them being very talented, but they wilted in that second half. They almost let the U.S. back into that game and nearly gave up a draw in that friendly matchup. So there's some things that they need to tighten up, but it's a long tournament, so they have plenty of time to get it done.
Oh, yeah, that's also the reason why, MLS is on a big pause right now, because with this going on, because I think it's by mid-July the MLS will be back running. But give me 4 outside of the U.S., 4 international players that you think could be the top 4 of this whole, like, the most impact players you can see of the 4.
I don't think I can get to 4, but I can get you to 3. It'll be Mbappe, and it'll be Ronaldo, and it'll be Messi, because those are the names. Like, I don't specifically down to the names, I have no clue, but I know that the teams that are there and who I've been hearing is talented. But no, those are the players that I'll say will be impact, because those are the only ones I know. So they got to be doing something, right? I know them, and if soccer information gets to me, that means it's gotten to the last corner of the earth.
I'll agree with 2 out of the 3 there. I'm gonna say Messi. I'm gonna say Ronaldo, and then I'll throw another one here. I'll throw in Neymar from Brazil.
Yeah, I know Neymar too, so that could have been my 4th. I like Neymar, and I like the way that when Brazilians have a really solid player like that, he's fun to watch.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, it's gonna be something there. Well, we could kind of turn the tables a little bit. Well, I might just do. I'm only gonna predict like just at least the next 7 days because like I'll be back on next Thursday. So like right now, I think we both picked Mexico and we're 1-0, and I picked Kacheka. I think you did too. So I mean, it's halftime. It's scoreless. I think you're also riding with USA to beat Paraguay.
Yes, because they have to win 2 out of these 3 group stage games.
Yeah, and I'm actually, if you want to come on, just let me know. I can tell you I'm going to do a watch along for that tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Central. I don't know who else is going to pop in, but I'm going to post the link up for people to hop in. But I will have a watch along going on if you decide to hop on for it. Canada and Bosnia.
What about them? Oh,
I
my
mean,
pick?
Yeah. And if you feel like if a tie can be involved, I mean, just let me know. But I mean, I don't like to have a tie.
No,
I
don't
pick
like
a straight winner.
I hate ties and I hate loser points in the NHL, so I'm never going to root for a tie. Canada, that'll be the game that they'll be able to get that one done. Bosnia is just very young, and if it's other than starting world wars and sometimes producing really good NBA centers, because Serbia is used to be a part of Bosnia. Bosnia used to be a part of Serbia. That's really all they're good at. So I'll go Canada over Bosnia.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Canada too. Saturday will be the first day of this tournament. I'm actually gonna be able to watch every single game, and I won't have to miss one because I know when tomorrow come I won't be able to watch Canada, but I'm gonna try and keep up with it. But I will be watching the other one. But first Saturday, I think there's 4 matchups on Saturday. We got Qatar and Switzerland, which I think that was kind of a toss-up, but I think I'm gonna go with I'm gonna let you pick first. This one's kind of a toss-up.
Switzerland. Qatar is like the buildings that they built for the World Cup. They are just really big, fancy shrines that they don't have a population. Their country should not exist. They had some backwoods deal with FIFA that got them the ability of it. I don't want to get too political, but the entire country of Qatar is built on indentured slaves that they've trafficked in from other places, China, Africa, the Middle East. So Qatar is fake paper. It's mache. I don't see them doing anything. Switzerland will win that one.
Okay, I'll go with Switzerland too. Now, in 2030, real quick, in 2030, I don't know if they're kind of doing what we're doing here with 3 countries in North America hosting it, but isn't there going to be like multiple countries in the Middle East hosting FIFA in 2030? I know the finals is going to be in Madrid, where Real Madrid plays soccer. I know that's where the finals is. But in 2034, Saudi's hosting it, but this brand new stadium they're building almost looks something like Guadalajara's in right now. It looks like it's a freaking massive hill, but it looks unique and shit. Like I saw the artwork of what this stadium's supposed to look like. But so is it like multiple countries hosting it again in 4 years, or is it going to be like strictly Spain?
If it's Europe countries, they'll probably be able to do it in multiple sites, depending on how close they go to Russia. In the Middle East, we would have to figure out what's going on with Iran, because if Iran is still doing what they're doing, then it's going to be in one country and one site, and everybody's just going to be in the same little area. Because unfortunately, there's some really intense tensions going on in these other places, and you can't really travel between one country to the other.
Okay. I think this one's across the board. I got Brazil over Morocco.
Yeah, I like Morocco, but they're not good enough to beat Brazil.
I'm going with Scotland over Haiti because I got Scottish in the family. We got Scottish in us, and plus I'm big on Celtics, so I'm going with Scotland.
I would say Scotland as well, because I just think that Haiti's got too much else going on. They're not going to be focused on the game. They're going to be focused on whatever's going back home on the island. There's too many distractions, so I'll go Scotland over Haiti as well.
This one's kind of a toss-up, but I think I'm gonna go ahead and pick Turkey over Australia.
Turkey's a good team. Turkey is one of those Middle Eastern teams that they're always going to be tough. That's why I think the U.S. is not a guarantee. I think that they will get out of the group stage, but they could fumble it and lose to these really good teams that they have. I'll say Australia wins because I think the Australia-US game, that'll either be for the 1 or 2 seed out of this group.
This one, Germany easily over Curacao. If I'm saying that country name right, Germany easily.
If it was Little League Baseball, I would say Curacao by a mile. But it is not Little League Baseball. Curacao is going to be – they're just going to – if they're playing in – NRG Stadium is going to be bigger than anything they've ever seen. Like, I've been to Curacao on a cruise. You can see the other side of the island. You can see the ocean from the ocean. Like, I'm on the cruise ship, and I see all the way across to possibly Aruba or Colombia. Like, that's how tiny it is. There's no shot that they can do anything against Germany.
Yeah. I got Japan over the Netherlands. That's kind of crap it. I think Japan's like a heavy favorite.
Japan is good. They're disciplined, and I think that they'll be really solid. They're going to be a tough team to beat or score on. Like I just said I don't want draws. They would be a team that's going to fight like hell not to make sure that there's a draw in their record.
I got Ecuador over Ivory Coast.
Yes, Ecuador, too solid of a program, too established. Ivory Coast is brand new. They're still in the infancy stage.
Sweden and Tunisia. What I feel like this could be a tie.
That one, I'm not going to be anywhere near my TV screen.
Probably mine.
I'll go Tunisia. Let's go Tunisia in that one. Why not?
Okay, I'll go with Tunisia too. Okay, Monday. Okay, Spain easily over Cape Verde. I got Spain easily, no problem.
Spain won't have a tough matchup until the quarterfinals, I think.
And same with this one. I got Belgium. I think Belgium takes care of Egypt.
Yep, Egypt is not that team yet. They're still getting there. They love soccer, but they're just not that talented yet. They got like 1 or 2 guys that are really good, but that's it.
Saudi and Uruguay could be a tie, but I'm only going with Saudi because Saudi got the money.
That's why I'm going to go with Uruguay. The country that's worth 4 coconuts against the country that's worth billions upon billions.
Great. Iran and New Zealand. Iran probably a favorite, but I'm going to go with New Zealand.
I'm not going to pick Iran with what they're doing right now. So give me New Zealand. I want the All Whites to get some love alongside the All Blacks.
France easily over Senegal. I'm going with France.
That's funny that it's Senegal because Senegal is like one of the very French parts of Africa. So they're going to all, similar cultures depending. And I think that France is just going to wipe the floor with them.
Iraq and Norway. I mean, I'm going with Norway. I'm going with the Dutch.
Yep. And you're not going to pick Iraq because they're also not that great of a country to be behind. So I'm going with Norway as well.
And then Argentina easily. I think they should be no problem against Algeria. I think you're going with the same two.
Yeah, Algeria is not going to do anything against Argentina.
Austria and Jordan could be all eyes on, but why are they starting it so late? Like, I'll be lucky if I could at least last till halftime to watch this one.
Yeah, I've watched some sports on the East Coast. I've been to Virginia coaching wrestling tournaments the last few years. I don't know how you guys do it because those games start so late. I think that the 7 o'clock starts in the Mountain Time Zone is tough. Pacific Time Zone has it so easy. Like it's going to be 11 o'clock and it'll be just barely 8 in Los Angeles when they're kicking that one off.
Yeah. Portugal easily over Congo.
Yep.
England and Croatia could be a toss-up, but I'm going to go with England.
Yeah, the Croatians are tough, and they're hard-nosed. And it's really funny to see all the sunburns on the British team, but the British team is definitely – they're good enough to win that game.
Ghana and Panama could be not be a sleeper. I think it could be a good matchup, but I'm going to go with Panama on that one.
Yeah, I think Panama has more of the resources. They've been able to kind of keep themselves in, I think, better shape than Ghana has.
Uzbekistan and Colombia. Oh, yeah, easily Colombia. That's the one game I'm going to make sure I'm watching that Wednesday night for sure. And it's not 9 o'clock, so, I mean, perfect time to watch it. And when it's over, I'm out. Good night.
Yep. No, and Uzbekistan, good on you for qualifying for the tournament. That's it.
And then I'm going to go till next Thursday, and then I'm going to wrap up the predictions on that. But Czech, South Africa. I mean, the way Czech keep playing like they're playing now, I think they can easily beat South Africa.
South Africa might not get a single victory with the way that these two teams are playing. The other three teams in their group are damn good, and it just doesn't seem like they have it this year.
Switzerland, I think they can easily beat Bosnia. Mexico, I know is going to beat South Korea, no problem. Canada and Qatar could be a toss-up, but I mean, I'll let you lead that one off. But what you got on the other ones?
I still think that Canada will beat Qatar as well, but remind me of the other games that you said.
Mexico, South Korea, and Switzerland and Bosnia.
Mexico will beat South Korea, and I think Switzerland will handle Bosnia as well.
All right. Well, that's all I really got on the FIFA side. Now, it's not looking good for Vegas. Carolina just won game 5, and Schmecklov had another awesome game. He scored 2 more goals in the Stanley Cup.
He's had a great final series, but I love Jordan Stahl. Jordan Stahl, who, by the way, was an 18-year-old on the 2008 Pittsburgh Penguins when they came back and beat the Red Wings in the Stanley Cup final the year after they lost. And he's got 6 goals in the first 5 games of the Stanley Cup final. He's the 5th player in NHL history to do that, and he's like 35.
Wow. I mean, you look at I think it's Sunday. They're playing game 6, right? In Vegas.
Yeah, I think they're giving them 2 days again.
Well, I might have to multitask while I'm doing the watch along for Freedom 250. But I mean, I feel like, everyone's going to talk about it's Mark Stone and Jack Eichel carrying this team around. But I feel like it's more of Mitch Marner if you're talking about Vegas. He's leading in points this season with 29. He's also leading in assists with 19. And he's also plus minus with 15. Also, you got to throw in Brett Howden, who I think has the most goals this season for the team. He had 14 total goals. And then when it comes to penalty minutes, Cole Smith had the most of that too. But do you believe they say this is the highest scoring Stanley Cup final we've ever seen, I think, in the last 50 years?
Well, because everything has been decided by at least, except for the last 2 games that Carolina's won. All the other games were only decided by a goal, and they were like 6-5 games in overtime. So you had, I think it was 5-4 the first game, so that's 9. It was 4-3 the next game, so that's 16 in overtime, and then in double overtime, I think it was 6-5. So 16 and 11, that's 27.
Yeah, I need to bring up game 3 real quick. I remember I was in a bar watching that, and hell, they should have had 7 points. Remember, their first 2 goals were called back on challenges.
Yeah.
So that kind of pissed me off. Well, then I think this was all in the second period. By then, I remember they ended up having like 3 or 4 goals by the end of the second period. They ended up having 4 goals.
Marner had a hat trick. It's the fastest hat trick in Stanley Cup final history.
That play with the goalposts that got him in the damn goal will live rent free in my head. But what wasn't in the second or third period where the Hurricanes scored 3 goals in 39 seconds?
That was the third period. So they were down 4-1 at the end of the second, and then by the time it was like halfway through the third period, it was a 1-goal game at 4-3.
3 goals. 3 goals in 39 seconds is uncalled for. Like I've seen a lot of historic shit in one night.
Yeah, that was back-to-back, like both periods. I thought that the ratings would be worse than they are because it's actually turning out that everybody likes these games and they're very entertaining and they're highly watched. It'll be interesting to see what happened tonight because they're going up against World Cup, but I still think that they'll have plenty of viewership. But it is the 2 best teams, the 2 teams that are playing the absolute best. As much as I want to sit here and say that Colorado could be here and be doing the same thing, the way that they played in that Western Conference final, their system died. Their engine blew up. The spark plugs were bad. Vegas was humming, and they got past them and did what they needed to do. Carolina is doing the same thing, and Carolina found their game. That's the scariest thing for Vegas Golden Knights fans right now is Carolina they looked nervous. They looked worried up until game 4. Game 4 was kind of like the breakthrough where they've settled everything down, and they had 2 separate 3-goal leads some point in this game tonight. Vegas had the goalie pulled for the last 7 minutes of the game because they were down 2 goals.
If you'd have told me 2 weeks ago that Vegas was going to sweep Colorado 4 games in the Western Conference Finals, I thought you'd have lost your mind. I thought it was going to go like 7 games. I thought it was going to go.
And
7.
nobody thought that Colorado wasn't going to show up. They didn't show up for a single game. Every time that we had a lead, it was like they just turtled. So mentally weak. It was one of the most disappointing performances I can remember of a team that represents my state that I've ever watched. Like, I wasn't around for the 96 game that the Broncos got beat by the Jaguars, but there's not much worse than what we just experienced. And to add on to the fact that it's 8-0 in the last 2 playoff series that we played against Las Vegas, we have not beaten you since overtime in game 2 in 2021.
I've been to hockey games, but I've never been to an NHL game. I'm pretty sure you've been to a few Avs games in your life. I bet they're fun.
Oh yeah, no, it gives you an extra. You can see it on TV, but seeing it in person, like they are making split-second decisions, moving 25 miles an hour. And some of these guys that are 6'5", when they put skates on, they're 7 feet, and they're running and throwing their bodies around. It's something. I love it. I love the Mighty Ducks movies. That's kind of why I started liking hockey. But
me too. Yes. Charlie Conway was my guy. I mean, I did like the Bash Brothers and all that. I mean, who did?
Yeah.
I mean, I've watched all 3 of them constantly, but I don't know why. I feel like the third one was more into my like scenery than the other 2.
I was going to say the same thing. 3 is my favorite. I love 1 because it established it. 2 is good because the World Juniors, but 3 when they're figuring themselves out. And the coach, like I love Coach Bombay, but the coach in D3 is also a guy that I really like. Yeah, Coach O'Ryan, just clear out the trash. And confidence is knowing that you can play the way that you need to when you don't have control of the puck. It's like, damn, you're hitting it.
That little school they went go play at, I mean, that was more like, I don't know if you want to call it more like a private prep school or a prep school or something, like where they were like given scholarships to play over there.
They have dormitories, like you live. I think there's a few schools in Minnesota that are like that, where you live away from home and basically a professional hockey player, or at least a college hockey player from the time you're a freshman in high school.
That's like the freaking IMG Academy of hockey, basically.
Yeah, IMG is definitely they're taking I think almost all of what they do from these hockey schools and the juniors up in Canada, because they've had billet families for 60 plus years, where families that live all throughout Canada, if they have a junior team in their city, they will accept somebody moving from wherever else, and like a foreign exchange student. Oh, I'm here to play hockey, eh?
They got a full ride to go play at that school, basically.
Yeah, no, they did.
I don't know if this is true or not, but do y'all get super hyped up at games when they play Blink 182?
When we were on our cup run, it was a thing. If we were guaranteed victory, so basically 3 goals or like 2 goals in less than 30 seconds, the crowd DJ would play Blink 182 and he would cut it, but the crowd would continue it. So it was a huge thing as we were going on this Stanley Cup run. Every game that ended in Ball Arena with a victory, the crowd would sing the last chorus of or the bridge of All the Small Things. Say it ain't so, I will not go. And it was all 20,000 of us, because I didn't make it to any of the conference final. I think I went to a round 1 game because I didn't want to spend that much money. Nico went to a game 5 that they lost in the Stanley Cup final that year, and he went to the watch party at game 6. So he spent a pretty penny. But I made it to the playoff game, and it was 20,000, everybody screaming. It's one of the coolest experiences that I've ever felt.
Please tell me y'all not like Michigan, or I don't know who else does it. Sing Brightside.
Not Mr. Brightside, no. That's a Michigan, and I don't even. Yeah, you're right. There's somebody else that does it. My favorite one about Montana and Montana State football. But Montana State plays Monet Monet, the 80s song, and when it says, after it goes, here she come, now say Monet Monet, the crowd goes, eat shit, Grizzlies, go, Cats, go.
Oh, yes. Another reason why I love that rivalry. That I believe, I mean, it could happen. I could see, I'm calling it now, within 3 to 5 years. Montana State, North Dakota State, and South Dakota State going to end up in the Mountain West.
I think North Dakota State's already in transition.
Because half of the Mountain West is already going to the Pac-12. It's crazy. Like damn near 80% of the Pac-12 is all state universities, and then you throw Gonzaga in there to like scare them during basketball season a little bit. But
I would force Gonzaga to have a football team. That's just me.
I'm definitely gonna check the Pac-12 out when Boise State starts playing and all that. I don't know. I just love watching the blue turf. And then I was so big on Ashton Jenney a couple years ago. Like he was like a force to be reckoned with. And whenever that's another reason why I'm hoping to get tickets for the Saints home opener because they're playing the Raiders. I get to see him and I get to see Mendoza and Travis Etienne's debut as a New Orleans Saint. And he grew up 3 hours away from New Orleans. I'm actually 10 miles from his hometown.
Yeah, and apparently we were all saying his name wrong forever. How do you
that was that female chick that does ACC network. She started that shit, said Etienne. And I'm like, it's HN. Well, now we finally get to say it right because it's spelled Etienne Jr. But we're French. We're Cajun. We say it like we pronounce it another way.
I don't know how he didn't say something before that because it was like 6 years into the time that he was a well-known person. Like just one time. I'm sorry, it's HN.
Well, also too, the HN family household is going to be a civil war indeed. Because also remember, his brother Trevor is with the Carolina Panthers. Panthers and the Saints are division rivals. So the big brother and baby brother get to play twice a year, every year, starting in 2026.
You know who I'm really excited about? And it was before even last season started, but Shuck. I thought Tyler Shuck was going to be a really good quarterback coming out of Louisville, and he outdid my expectations. I think he has a lot of really good potential, like probably the best quarterback that the Saints have had since Breeze.
Well,
he's not Breeze's level, but that's the best quarterback that they've had.
He got a way to go. But I said if they would have started Shuck week 1 and across the season, I think he'd have got Rookie of the Year. But I mean, they gave Spencer Rattler the keys first, and
that guy
playing.
That guy.
I like him.
Did he steal any laptops in New Orleans?
Not that I know of, but I did give him a chance a bit because I did like him in QB1, that documentary on Netflix. And then, hey, he had a nice little run at South Carolina when he transferred from Oklahoma. So, I mean, he beat Tennessee one year. So I was like, okay, he got a little – that's another thing. Like, I know everyone talks about, SEC, I like to go to LSU or go to Alabama, go to Ole Miss, blah, whatever, or even Georgia. I would love to go to Williams-Brice Stadium at night jamming the freaking Sandman.
Yeah, and they have the laser lights that they put in, like
not Sandman, Sandstorm. I'm sorry, no, Sandman's Virginia Tech. That's another one I'd like to do. Enter Sandman for Virginia Tech.
That one's that's my dad's favorite college football entrance. But the red lights that they got in South Carolina, watching some of the night games that they had last season, that would be pretty sick, pretty sweet to be playing under.
Like anytime I hear Sandstorm in a nightclub or on the radio, I cannot think of anything else than South Carolina Gamecock football.
Beamer ball.
Oh yeah. And also I'm hoping, fingers are crossed, I get a chance to go to my first NHL game because next year, Vegas is going to play the Dallas Stars at AT&T Stadium for a stadium. One of those little stadium, not a stadium series, whatever they call it, where they play.
Yeah, stadium series, Winter Classic.
Not Winter Classic. I think next year's Winter Classic is it's not the Stars and the Golden Knights. It's a weird. It's the Utah Mammoth and somebody else. They're playing at the University of Utah.
Mm-hmm.
But
they're playing it'll be a stadium series, but it'll be cool to see. Like that'll be an awesome atmosphere. Probably the most people that'll be there for a hockey game ever.
Well, I don't have to worry. I know they're not passionate. I don't think they're that passionate for their Stars because
there are a few. There are, because we've played the Stars a few times in the playoffs since we've had our podcast. They are loud. Like the most entitled person that you know from Dallas, they are a Dallas Stars fan.
Well, because I saw, I don't know if it's true or not, they were supposed to get their own arena and shit. Like they're going to move out the American Airlines Center because they already don't want the Mavericks there anymore. And supposedly the Mavericks are going to relocate to Vegas and be something else. That's what I heard through the grapevine, unless they do an expansion team like they did with the Golden Knights. But if I go to Dallas or Arlington, same shit. If I go to Dallas, I hope I don't get my ass jumped like them Spurs fans were getting jumped in Manhattan.
Don't get your jersey ripped off because they will light it on fire. That's what they will do.
Which, I mean, we've talked about this too, but look, after what I saw last night, I don't have faith in that team no more. I think I'll be shocked they win Game 5 at home and let the Knicks win it at 6 if that's where they're going. But you blew a 29-point lead, and they're pointing fingers at De'Aaron Fox because of that damn offensive foul towards the end. Wemby wasn't in his game in the second half, but man, everyone wants the fucking Knicks to win a championship because they ain't won one since the 70s.
I don't want it for the Czechia just scored, by the way.
Oh, good.
Yeah, so we got a goal in that one in the 58th minute. They're up 1-0. 1-0 for the football people. It wasn't De'Aaron Fox's foul. It was the fact that nobody got in the team's ear because you shot 75% from 3 in the first half. Law of averages says that's not going to hold. If you shoot 75% from 3 for the entire game, you're going to score like 300 points. You're not going to do that. And then once the 3-point ball went away, nobody got in the paint. You have Wemby that's 7'5", and you're not trying to throw up 2s. You're just everybody's chucking up 3s, and you're not getting offensive rebounds, and you're not crashing the boards. And that's what the game-winning sequence was. OG Anunoby crashed the board harder than anybody that Spurs had on the floor. And that's crazy because the Spurs, they were winning. All you need to do is get a rebound in that situation. You let some guy jump over the top of you and tip the ball in to steal one from you. That's, as young as they are, I don't know if they come back from that. That's almost too much.
I know Pelicans fans are rolling in their grave right now because Jose Alvarado is now in the NBA Finals, first year outside, leaving New Orleans. He's playing with Jalen Brunson and them in the finals. But okay. All this, I mean, I get New York is like a big sports market. That's why another reason why everyone wants the Knicks to win because of the money they can draw. Because we know New York is like a big playground with sports, especially if it involves like the Yankees and whatnot. But I'm going to name a couple celebrities. I know for damn sure diehard Knicks fans. Spike Lee, Adam Sandler, Stephen A. Smith, Tracy Morgan.
Ben Stiller.
Taylor Swift. Tiffany Chalamet. Yeah, that's another one. Taylor Swift is not no fucking Knicks fan. What the hell?
She was just at the Cavs game in a Cleveland shirt.
Was Kelsey with them with her courtside?
Yeah.
Or was that an AI? He looked high off his ass.
I think he was so drunk, so hammered.
And did you see those shirts? She had a Stevie Nicks shirt on. He had Nicks Cole Kidman on. And then there was a woman sitting next to Taylor Swift. She had a weird Knicks shirt on too. And I'm like,
you know who that is? That's Detective Olivia Benson from SVU.
No shit.
Yeah, Mariska Hargitay. And then I heard that was possibly Taylor Swift's bachelorette party. And I was like, wait a second. Mariska Hargitay went to Taylor Swift's bachelorette party?
Oh, and you can't forget Adam Sandler. I saw him in the crowd too. Him and his wife.
Yeah,
he's a diehard Knicks fan too.
Jerry Seinfeld is the diehard Knicks fan. John McEnroe is another one. Like, there's a lot. It's crazy, and Nico explained it, but nobody likes Brooklyn if you live in New York. Nobody's a Nets fan because they were in New Jersey forever. You are a Knicks fan if you are a basketball fan. That's the one sport. They only have one team. You don't have to divide your attention. The state's not divided. Everybody, whether you're in a Yankees hat or a Mets hat, you're wearing a Knicks jersey when you go to MSG, and they have so many people. That poor Spurs fan, it was bad enough that he was getting attacked, but there were so many people around. You can't do anything. I would do the same. I would probably not fight back in that situation either, because if you start fighting back, you're going to get jumped by 15 other guys.
I don't know if they're worse. They can't be as bad as Eagles fans. I know how Eagles fans can get chaotic like that too.
I think that they're sneaky. They're not as successful, but they're basically the same personality wise.
I saw a video on X. It was someone who he was old because he said, I've been a Knicks fan for 46 years. He said, there ain't no way all them ones that were jumping these guys in the streets wearing Spurs fans. He said, those are not real Knicks fans. You Knicks fans have probably only been fans for 45 days. He said a real Knicks fan wouldn't have done some shit like that. And I kind of agree with that because but I feel like why would it be role reverse? Like, let's say the Spurs pull off Game 5 in San Antonio, and then they're gonna go turn around and beat up a Knicks fan in the Alamo by the Riverwalk. Probably throw him in the river and drown his ass.
That's the thing is they don't. That's not what San Antonio fans do. Pretty much everybody besides New York and Philadelphia are pretty accommodating. Like they can be upset if your team beats you, but you're not at risk of bodily harm except for in a few places, and New York happens to be one of them. And it's a pretty big risk for bodily harm because they shut down like 5 different blocks last night after they won that game with just people standing on cars with megaphones screaming, Knicks in 5, Knicks in 5. And it's a madhouse. It's absolutely out of control. The police have no control over that situation whatsoever.
And then police brutality is already like one harmful thing, and you can't even defend the police or even fight them without getting bombed or sprayed or tased or mazed or whatever. I've seen on X in the last 48 hours, 72 hours in between games 3 and 4 in MSG. I mean, I'm just glad New Orleans ain't like, look, Pelicans are that bad. When they lose, they're going to go up to that fan base and be like, thanks for kicking the shit out of us. Can't wait for y'all to do it again in a couple weeks.
Yeah. Can't wait to get that Christmas Day victory over the Nuggets at some point.
Like, they love their Pelicans, but trust me, in reality, they wouldn't give a shit if the team got relocated or whatever. All they care about in New Orleans is Saints and Tulane, and that's it. There are some that really, really do care about the New Orleans Pelicans, but their fan base isn't as strong as what people think. They care about the Saints more than anything else in that city. If they lose the Saints are going to – the Who Dat Nation will turn into the Knicks fan base if they ever, like, lost their NFL team and relocated. The shit that happened in New York would happen in New Orleans easily like that.
Definitely. They love that team.
Especially, yeah, even remember when Tom Benson was still alive, they tried to relocate the team to San Antonio at one point. And I'm like, y'all out your fucking mind.
Yeah, you can't. That's too close. You can't move a team that close, especially with that kind of a fan base.
Well, I don't think we have to worry about anything because, I mean, they already, like, for the 4th time in 25 years, the Superdome's getting another big renovation upgrade. And supposedly, I figured, like, if you got a team in New Orleans, it's your call to keep it there as permanent or as forever long as you want. But supposedly they signed a 60-year extension to keep the team in New Orleans so, like, as long as I'm still around, the team's going to be still in New Orleans. I ain't got to worry about them relocating anywhere.
No, I think that they'll be there for life.
Well, it could be worse. I mean, you could put, my opinion, one of the worst guys you can put on the cover of Madden and upgrade the Madden curse from injuring a player to relocating your team across the river in Chicago going to Indiana. But I heard that's the mayor's fault or the whoever's fault. Like, it's a political issue. I wish Ken was here to explain more of that, but yeah, I kind of laughed hysterically about it.
I think that's getting blown out of proportion. I think it's a 5% chance that they go to Indiana. I think there's a 95% chance that they're just using this as leverage to try and get what they want for the new stadium. If they move, I didn't experience Baltimore moving in the middle of the night, but that would be pretty much along those lines. But I don't think that they're going to move. I think this is just a political play.
If they do move to Hammond, they're still going to be the Chicago. They're just moving right across the river. I mean, they would be in the same boat as the Jets, the Giants, the 49ers. Hell, even the Kansas City Chiefs. I mean, they're moving to the other Kansas City in Kansas, not Missouri. Same thing with Dallas. I mean, Arlington is a suburb in Dallas. Oh, is that their second? Oh no, did South Korea just score? Yeah, now it's tied. South Korea just scored and tied the game.
Nice.
That ball just slowly took its time going in and didn't even try to block it. But
everybody gets tired.
They're like, oh, they're going to be the Indian. No, they're not. They're going to still be the Chicago Bears. They're just going to be right across the water, like how East Rutherford is from Manhattan. They're going to be like in that same boat as the Jets and the Giants. But unless if they can find somewhere to build a new stadium because supposedly Soldier Field is too old and falling apart. But it's so iconic. I mean, it's just going to be weird.
Well, the reason why they're not going to be in Soldier Field anymore is because they don't own it. The NFL wants the Bears to own their stadium so that they can all raise ticket prices. Because right now they can't because the city of Chicago owns it. So they can influence ticket prices, but they can't control them 100%. That's why the NFL is pushing so hard for Chicago to get their own stadium.
I tell you what, you bet. Good thing Green Bay loves their team as much, because you ain't got to worry about them going in that same boat as the Bears when you got a whole city owning that team of various different owners.
Yeah. No, and that family needs to they need to sell Chicago badly. Like, make your money, get out of there, because they have no idea what they're doing anymore. I feel the same way about the Brown family in Cincinnati. Get your money, take your money and run, because you're not doing the franchise a service at all whatsoever.
They were saying the same thing about Gail after Tom Benson passed away, but she's kind of learning the ropes now. But what her thing is, she needs more second in command, better second in command. Like the GM the Saints have now, we've been saying for years, we need to fire his ass. He ain't worth a shit. Mickey Loomis ain't worth a shit. But this is where I think we need to bring Drew Brees back in. I think Drew Brees would make a great general manager for the Saints. He fucking loves that team, but they won't let him because he works under Fox. He'd have to leave Fox if he wants to go be a GM.
Yeah, I could see him doing that. They just did that in Atlanta with Matt Ryan.
But then again, look at Tom Brady. He works for, what is it, CBS or something, and supposedly he's got some connection with the Raiders.
He's an owner.
He's an owner. He's not a GM, but you won't let Drew Brees be a GM and work for Fox at the same time, unless Fox is different than like other networks.
He owns just a small enough percentage that he does not have to give up his broadcasting job. The general manager role, since it's a faculty position, like he would be directly involved in talking and recruiting players. That would be why you can't be a commentator at all, because you get to talk to all these guys before the games.
So he's basically like like Jay-Z level of owning a team, like Jay-Z was with the Nets.
Yeah, I think that he is listened to a little bit more than Jay-Z was, because Mark Davis just likes to have buddies, but he is a very small percentage minority owner of the Raiders.
Of all the teams you got in Denver, I'm going to assume the Broncos is the biggest, most loved fan base in Denver, or is it the Avalanche? Or I know it ain't the Rockies. The Rockies might be the worst.
The Rockies are terrible. They're not even worth talking about. I would say that it goes Broncos, and then the Nuggets and Avs are pretty much very close. The Nuggets are not as successful, but they've been around a lot longer. We were gifted the Avalanche in 1996, and they've been very successful since they've been here. But the Broncos and Avalanche, since they both have 3 championships and multiple guys that have won MVPs, those are the top 2 teams in Colorado.
I mean, you only got 2 choices in New Orleans, and you know the Saints are always going to be on top over the Pelicans. Houston, I feel like it's definitely not the Texans. They love their Texans, but they are not, because I know people in Houston that love the Cowboys more than the Texans. I feel like the Astros might be their biggest fan base more than even the Rockets. Rockets is kind of in the middle, but I've seen them jump ship to the San Antonio Spurs or any other, or even the freaking Lakers or something after getting knocked out in the first round by LeBron and the Lakers. So It's the Astros to me. Plus with the whole fucking cheating scandal, banging trash can and whatnot, when they won that one in 2022, that was like a big, that to them, that was like, oh, that's a big fuck you to all y'all that shit talked us for the last like 5 years.
No, you still cheated to get the other one.
Yeah, I haven't had to deal with that shit anymore, but they never gave me shit on winning it. They were like, congratulations, you won your second one on your own. You didn't have to cheat for the second one like you did your first one. And the ones that were telling me this are fucking Yankee fans.
Well, yeah,
like,
because the Yankees should have been in the World Series besides the Astros that year. Because if you didn't know what pitch was coming, Altuve probably doesn't hit that bomb.
How many times did the Yankees cheat to win? Same thing.
Not banging trash cans. I mean, they cheated to win because they had most of their success before a majority of people could play the game. They had a lot of their 27 World Series before anybody besides white people were able to play. That's why they they are what they are. Like, that would be what I say is the cheating part about the Yankees, and the fact that they could pay whatever they want for anybody else. It's not banging trash cans and stealing. I mean, everybody steals signs, but it's not communicating to the batter what pitch is coming. Like, there's a way of doing this. You see what the pitcher does to tip off a pitch, and then you say it in the dugout, but you're not banging the trash can to let the batter know, hey, he changed to a fastball. Hey, he changed to a changeup. You just got to it's a whole gamesmanship thing. If you beat them without banging the trash can and you just tell somebody that Garrett Cole tips off one of his pitches, that's one thing. But you have video, you have sign stealers, you have Connor Stallions, for whatever reason, sitting in the Astros outfield trying to pick up signs. Like, there's a limit to what we can allow. And I can't allow that. I will not stand behind that first one, because it was horseshit. The second one, yes, but the first one, no.
And then Dodgers cheated some way, something with lights, and then the Red Sox cheated again, because even after the Dodgers were whining about us, they were whining about losing to the Red Sox. They said the Red Sox cheated somehow too. But then I found out everyone in baseball cheats. It's just Astros were the only one to admit they got caught and they told the truth, and no one can handle the truth, and they're still going to get bashed for it. Yankees are not going on TV and say, "Hey, we cheated too." Or the Dodgers or the Red Sox, they don't want to go on and confess they cheated. The Astros were the only ones to man up to do it, and I guess that's what let them keep their title. Because I feel like if they would have still been doing this investigating shit, they probably would have got it removed from them.
They were the only ones that were actively telling the batter in the middle of the at-bat what the pitch was that was coming. So that's why they're different.
Oh, shit. Well, the guy that was going to come meet us, he got stung by a hornet. That's why he didn't come on and talk with us. That was our Chicago guy. He probably would have talked. He would have preached like 10, 15 minutes about what's going on in Chicago and why they're not doing this and that. Like, I've heard him talk about it countless times when it comes to that whole stadium issue.
Yeah, no, those Chicago fans are nuts.
What's the? I'm pretty sure. Like, I mean, I'm pretty sure you've been to Bronco games too, but like, I'm pretty sure the tailgating and atmosphere for Broncos games are off the chain as well.
There's a bunch, and there's like guys that have had tailgates since the 70s with the Orange Crush, and the families just continue it, and it's always in the same parking lot. So, if you either can know of a tailgate party that's happening, or if you're just walking around in an orange and blue jersey, you'll just get pulled over to some tent. Here, have a beer on your way in, have a hot dog, get a hamburger, some chips, and then go to the next tent and do it all over again.
I love that they brought the throwbacks back with the Bronco logo with the D.
Yeah.
And like the old school, like the royal blue helmet, not the navy. And what I like how they brought that back as like I don't know if you want to call it like a City Connect or Color Rush or throwback, but I wish they would bring that back permanently. I mean, I'm not hating the navy look, like even the one they had with the little like orange like little stripe that goes on the side with the white pants. I mean, that was kind of classic as well. That was like what John Elway and them had when they won against the Packers. But I much rather the throwback look.
No, their throwbacks are definitely one of the best in the league. Funny enough, John Elway hated those Navy uniforms. He did not like them when because the season that they beat the Packers, that was the first year they wore them. He wanted to stay in the bright colors. He was like, I don't want to play in Navy. I hate this. This does not look good. He was one of the models, and he was the only one not smiling when they did the press release for it.
That was a good documentary on Netflix too, the John Elway one.
Yeah, no, it's really good. He went through a lot.
Yeah, they were bashing him. I think they called him a murderer too and shit, like, or something.
They said, I mean, just the fact that he lost so many people that he was close to. He had so many times that he got to the Super Bowl and just got beat. Like he was somebody that was almost not wanting to make it to the Super Bowl anymore, so that he didn't have another one to lose.
Check has scored a goal with a corner kick.
2-1.
Yep. Oh, they called it back? They took it off the board.
Damn.
What was that? I didn't see no yellow card or nothing.
Was he outside?
They might have called it.
I guess I don't know if you can be offsides on a corner kick.
Well, it wasn't corner off the field. Like, it was like outside of the box.
I would guess it's probably an offsides one then.
Yeah, because like he kicked it, and then whoever 22 is, he like headbutted it into the goal. But I think they called it. Mine's on mute because I don't want to like get any like trouble with the TV blaring in the background, or you might not be able to hear me really well. So I got my TV on mute, so I'm not even listening to the commentary.
Yeah, I had to turn mine off so that my Wi-Fi stopped crapping out.
Oh, I don't know if it was meant to be that way, but I had to watch. I forgot that Fox is mainly covering FIFA because when I was looking at the scheduling and everything, I kept seeing Peacock. So I'm thinking, okay, I'm going to have to watch all the games on Peacock. But then I was like, no, wait, Fox and FS1 is mainly covering FIFA. Like I can watch it on Fox. Well, whenever I was on the road, I had to get on Peacock to like check it out because I don't have like the Fox app or nothing, but I got DirecTV at my house. So when I put Mexico and South Africa on Peacock, they had the Spanish commentary team. I had to listen to it in Spanish. But when I got home to put it on Fox, I got to finish it on English commentary. So it's like, I guess Peacock's going to have the international broadcasters instead of the English ones. So yeah, I think I might as well stick to Fox and FS1.
Yeah, that's probably a good plan.
But
unless you want to really learn Spanish really quickly.
I mean, I can just get on Google for that. But no, when I'm at work, I'm going to have to watch it on Peacock. I'll just watch it on mute. Because I'm not half the shit they're going to say. I'm not even know what they're going to say. Oh, they tie game. Man, this is a good one.
A lot of desperation.
I don't know what the name says on the back of that jersey, but it was number 18.
Yeah, I think he was close earlier, too. He kicked one over the goal when he had an open chance, so that's good that he got another one back.
So now they got the lead now. First 2-1, yeah, because they took. If that goal would have stood, then it'd be a tie game again. Man, this is a hell of a game right here. This is what makes it fun. I'm gonna see who that. I want to see who that was. Hold on. Where you at? Ohian Gayu scored the goal. If I said his name right.
Yeah.
Ohian Gayu. Or Gu. He's number 18.
Yeah, I'm not as good at Korean names as I am with some of the other ethnicities.
Yeah, this is an exciting one right here. This is like welcome FIFA's back indeed. This is a prime example. Mexico brought the vibe, but now we got ourselves a hell of a game here.
How much extra time are they going to be in? Does it say? Plus, I see +2 right now.
I haven't kept up with that because like I didn't know how much extra time they had going in the half because we were looking at the group stages and whatnot. But now someone just had a minor cramp. Shingo, number 8, like had like a little minor cramp. They just like stretched him out for like 10-15 seconds.
Wasting time.
Ooh, good block.
I wish that there was a European guy that could explain to me this answer, but why the hell do they not just blow the whistle and stop the play? Like, know that the game is going to go 90 minutes. You don't need to have the 10-minute extra buffer, and the referee doesn't need to be the only one that knows how much extra time is going to be there. You're just making it more difficult than anything.
I've been to 3 Dynamo matchups, and it's like you never know when the game's going to end because especially like if it involves an injury or a penalty, like like when I'm at home, then I'll be able to keep up with like how many extra minutes they're gonna add. But like at a live game, it's like a wild guess. Because
Which I think is stupid, because then you have no idea what's going on or when things actually matter.
yeah, but I wish they would have like another whistle. Because like that, them blowing that whistle can mean anything. They can mean like a substitute, a penalty. But you got to watch the signal. You got to watch the referee's hand signals. Like if he waves like both hands, I think that's either halftime or game over. I don't know. Like there's a lot of shit that involves this sport. Like I remember when I first started getting into it, we would make jokes like, "Oh, if I wanted to watch a guy try and score in 90 minutes, I'd just go watch a guy in a bar."
Mm-hmm. I still feel that way. I thought these games would be starting a little bit earlier than this, because this is late.
Hell of a game, though. Holy shit. Well, somebody's getting substituted. And see, I think, and that was another thing I didn't realize. Like, I remember they would hold that sign up, and then it took me like a little while to realize, oh, that's how they announce like they're substituting a player. Like they just hold this sign up. Like if their number's red, they're getting checked out, and their number's green, they're getting checked in.
There's too many fancy ass rules that make no sense, that you can get rid of and make everything a whole lot simpler.
It sounds weird, but the only thing I don't mind is like I don't mind that they don't stop the clock at all, because this game could be just as long as a baseball game.
Well, no, that's what I'm saying. Just be 90 minutes, and if you do too much, it's a delay game. Like every other sport, delay game penalty. Like if you're wasting time, we're not just going to add it on to the end of the clock. Like, just be assertive. You're European. Be assertive.
Yeah. But I bet you got to be in shape to do the shit they do. Running across a field for damn near 90 whole minutes. You get a workout at that. Like, I guarantee you, I'd probably drop 2 waist sizes if I played this damn sport.
That's reason I never played it at all. Never even touched it when I was young, because I just had no interest whatsoever.
Well, we never had the high school I graduated from. I mean, we were a small school. I mean, we didn't have every sport you can think of. Like we had Little League soccer when I was a kid, but then they stopped doing it. You have to go like move into the city, or like a lot of the small towns don't really have soccer leagues in Louisiana. It's usually the big cities or the bigger schools that have them. But like I never played it as a kid. Like right when I got older enough to play it, they kind of dropped it because no one really wanted to play it. So like it was mainly just football. I played basketball like 1 year, but I was the worst player at that. That was like my worst sport I ever played. I was more of a football and baseball guy, and I did track and powerlifting as well. But we didn't have a lot of sports to provide at my school, the school I graduated from. I'm pretty sure like up in Colorado, y'all had literally everything. Y'all probably had like tennis, soccer, lacrosse, swimming, hockey. Y'all probably had everything in Colorado.
We got some small towns that don't have everything, but the school I went to is the biggest in the state, and we had pretty much anything like golf, tennis. We were really good. Like I'm coaching there now at football, so not to be too braggadocious, but we're a pretty good football program in the state. But most of the schools are only like 1,500 kids. Like the big school that I graduated from, we graduated, it was 4,000 kids at the school.
Oh my God, I had 64 in my graduating class, but no, the biggest school in Louisiana, I think the most kids they ever had in their graduating class, I think was like 1,200.
Yeah, but then I went out to College Station High School when I was out at that camp, and they had like 10,000 kids.
That's insane. And you want to talk about big high school? Go to Allen High School in Dallas, where Kyler Murray went to school.
I had a buddy that he transferred from Allen to our high school, and he was like, "That is a college campus."
Yeah, they even have like their cafeteria looks like a food court. Like they had like a Subway, a Chick-fil-A. They had like a little fast food, and you can work there.
Yeah,
like that could be like your high school job, basically. I don't know. So, like, are you a teacher too? Like, you coach high school sports, and you're a teacher?
Yeah, I coach high school sports, and I teach middle school. I was the middle school social studies teacher the last 4 years, and I'm teaching English next year.
Nice. I'm sure them kids these days can be a pain in the ass.
Yeah, they can, but then I can be a pain in the ass back, and that's a lot of fun. If you want to make my life difficult, guess what? You got an extra chapter tonight.
So you do it the right way. You're not going to physically like give them shit. You
obviously
just
I can't physically do anything, but no, I can be. I'm a smart ass. I'm sarcastic. I can burn, especially I teach 7th grade. A 13-year-old mouths off to me. I can burn you without him even knowing that he's like getting roasted, and it'll make me happy. I got so much going on up here, just all day, and I say it in the nicest way possible. Is like, I'm glad somebody has to be that creative. And then walk away, and he's got to be like, is creative like good or bad? You said it in a way that it could be both.
What position you coach in football?
Linebackers and then offensive line.
Oh, hey! I played both as in high school. I was outside linebacker and I played right guard.
Yeah, I probably should have switched to linebacker when I got into high school, but I just focused on offense instead. I played center, and then I got a partial scholarship to play D2 in a small town out here.
Nice. Well, the high school coach I had at the time, he was a former Marine, so like he was treating us like the military, and he wanted all his guys to play both sides. Mm-hmm. So like my freshman year, I played guard all 4 years, but like on defense, I started as a defensive end, as an edge rusher, and then he moved when I got bigger, muscular and bigger. He moved me. First, he wanted me to play defensive tackle. Then he switched me to linebacker the same year. So, like, I played edge rusher, defensive end, defensive tackle, and then I stayed at linebacker on defense the rest of from my sophomore to senior year. But offense, I played the same position. I was a right guard because he said I had the built and look to pull. Like, if they ever wanted me to pull, when we ever do them type of plays, like I was fast, so I could pull and block the oncoming person who's going after the ball carrier. So that's what he believed. That's what he thought of me when I was doing that. But like, I'm not really a coach. I'm not a coach, but I am a part of a team. I'm more the stat guy. So like, I'm on the staff to where I record stats for the football team. Mainly, I just do defense and special teams. Plus, anytime we get a penalty now, they have to make me copy and jot all that down too. But like the coaches we have, they want us to all be a part. Like they're like, get them like they want me to get them hyped up. I'll get them hyped up. They want me to do a pregame. They want me to do a pregame speech before they go out for kickoff. I'll do a little pregame speech for them. They got six extra minutes here, but that could go either way. But
yeah, I feel like Korea is not going to let them get even close.
This one's kind of a shocker here. I'm glad I didn't put money on this.
I had a feeling it could go this way. By the way, Czechia has lost all of its matchups in the World Cup in Guadalajara. So if they lose again, that would be 4. The last 3 times was they were Czechoslovakia before they changed their name.
Wow. Well, we can probably go ahead and wrap this up then. If they got 6 extra minutes, that's about wrap it up. I guess you could say South Korea won this one.
I think that's pretty safe.
Be on the lookout. I will be back on the air tomorrow. I'm going to do a watch along for USA and Paraguay. I think kickoff is at 8 Central. So I'm going to go live as soon as the broadcast is aired at SoFi. As soon as I see SoFi Stadium on my TV, I'm going to go live. Do a watch along with that. Also, this Sunday, we're having our UFC Freedom 250 watch along as well. I'm going to go live at 6:45 p.m., 15 minutes before they officially go live on Paramount Plus. But this was fun, man. I look forward to having you in the future. I don't think the Saints and the Broncos are playing each other this season. I don't. Maybe the Texans. I'm about to look real quick, but while I look that up,
the Texans play the Bengals. I know that because we have to go. We play the Houston pass rush, and then we have to go play the Pittsburgh pass rush right after.
Oh, good. Both teams do this year. Yeah, the Saints play the Bengals too. So,
yeah.
Well, the Bengals come to Houston. Saints go to Cincinnati week 12, right after Thanksgiving. So, like, we'll have to work something out. Like, whenever it's football season, I like to do crossovers where we'll preview a football game and whatnot. We'll do some predictions across the NFL and even college. So I'll keep you in mind since you are a Bengals guy and both my teams are playing your team this year. We can work something out when football season comes.
Yeah, definitely. I appreciate you having me on. And if anybody enjoyed what they heard from me, make sure you follow at FEOTB Pod and subscribe to our YouTube channel as well. I don't know if anybody likes video games, but I do commentary because I'm a real big nerd over my college football 26 dynasty that I've been playing. I play as UT San Antonio, and season 2 debuts this Sunday. So if you're interested in that, or if you like watching people play video games online, because there are people that like that now, that is going to be coming out, and we have blogs and all that kind of stuff going with it. So that's like our next big project, but that's one of the things that I'm looking forward to. It starts this Sunday.
Yeah, I'm a video game guy too. I play Xbox. I play Switch too. I'm waiting for the new college football game to drop. I think it drops July 1st.
Yeah, that's why I'm trying to get this season done so that I can buy 27 and figure out what I'm doing with that one for content.
Same thing with Madden. So you must have Twitch and all that.
Yeah, we got a Twitch channel through our show, but I just like playing it. I just like playing, and I have iMovie on my computer, so I upload the screen recording, and then I just commentate over it like I'm in the studio or something like that.
Hell yeah. Well, I'm at Dirty South ENT _ on X. I'm also on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. Yeah, well, it was nice having you, man. This was a blast. I look forward to seeing you down the road, especially for NFL season or in college and whatnot. I'll catch you down the road, man. Thank you. And thanks to everyone tuning in. Hope you enjoy FIFA. Enjoy the rest of your summer. I don't know what the weather's like in Colorado. I know it's hot as shit down here. Temperature got up into the 90s earlier today. We're in the upper 70s right now. Probably feels like 80 when I walk outside. But, yeah, stay hydrated, especially if you live down in Louisiana.
Yeah, we don't have to deal with the humidity, but it's been damn dry hot very recently, so I'm right there with you. Hydrate, keep yourself out of the sun as much as you can.
All right. Well, all right, buddy. Pleasure having you. I'll catch you down the road, bro.
See you
later.